Today is Monday, September 29th, and from the studios of Delhi, this is Football's Remarkable. Hello and welcome to another episode of this season's podcast Football's Remarkable. I'm your host Devang Pandey. Today we pay tribute to the legacy of one of the greatest icons in football history, Sir Bobby Charlton. From surviving the tragic Munich disaster to lifting the World Cup in 1966, Charlton's journey was one of resilience, brilliance, and unmatched sportsmanship. A true gentleman of the game. His name is etched forever in the chronicles of Manchester United and England's footballing glory. So let's head straight to our segment Football's Memorable. Sir Bobby Charlton was born in Ashington, a small mining town in northeast of England in October 1937. He was younger brother of Jackie Charlton, who was a professional football player with Leeds United and England. The family had football in their blood. On his mother's side of the family, his uncles were Jack Milburn, who played for Leeds United and Bradford City, George Milburn, who played for Leeds United and Chesterfield, Jim Milburn, who played for Leeds United and Bradford Park Avenue, and Stan Milburn, who played for Chesterfield, Leicester City and Rochdale. And legendary Newcastle United and England footballer Jackie Milburn was his mother's cousin. Bobby Charlton scored 2 goals while playing for England schoolboys. He was spotted by Joe Armstrong, who took him to Manchester United. At Manchester United, Bobby was taken under the wings of Jimmy Murphy and Matt Busby. Charlton became one of the famed Busby Babes, the collection of talented footballers who emerged through the system at Old Trafford in the 1940s, 50s and 60s, as Matt Busby set about a long-term plan of rebuilding the club after the Second World War. Bobby was serving in the military and at the same time working his way through the Manchester United's youth team. Matt Busby offered Bobby Charlton a place in the First Division team. Bobby made 14 appearances in first season and qualified for a championship medal. In February 1958, Manchester United had overcome Red Star Belgrade and were through to the semi-finals of the European Cup. En route to Manchester, the plane stopped in Munich to refuel. This was carried out in worsening weather, and by the time the refueling was complete and the call was made for the passengers to reboard the aircraft, the wintry showers had taken hold and snow had settled heavily on the runway and around the airport. There were 2 aborted takeoffs which led to concern on board, and the passengers were advised by a stewardess to disembark again while a minor technical error was fixed. The team were back in the airport terminal for barely 10 minutes when the call came to reconvene on the plane. The plane clipped the fence at the end of the runway on its next takeoff attempt, and a wing tore through a nearby house, setting it alight. The wing and part of the tail came off. It had been cut in half. Charlton, strapped into his seat, had fallen out of the cabin when United goalkeeper Harry Gregg, who had somehow got through a hole in the plane unscathed and began a one-man rescue mission, found him. He thought he was dead. He grabbed Charlton and dragged him away from the plane in constant fear that it would explode. Greg returned to the plane to try to help the appallingly injured Busby, and when he turned around again, he was relieved to see that Charlton had got out of his detached seat and was looking into the wreckage. This incident sent shockwaves across Manchester. Matt Busby and Bobby Charlton were among the lucky ones who pulled through. After recovering, Bobby decided to rejoin his team. Manchester United reached the FA Cup final, but Bolton Wanderers defeated them 2-0 at Wembley. 5 years after the airplane crash incident in 1958, Manchester United won the FA Cup final in 1963 with a 3-1 win over Leicester. This win marked the start of a golden era for Manchester United. Matt Busby was still the manager. He made some new additions to the Manchester United squad, which included Denis Law, a Scotsman who scored in the 1963 FA Cup final, and a youngster from Belfast called George Best. George Best, Denis Law, and Bobby Charlton formed the most devastating combinations English football has ever seen. Meanwhile, Charlton was just as effective for the English national team as he was for his club Manchester United. Sir Bobby Charlton scored 49 goals in 106 international appearances, which remained an English record. He scored in his international debut on 19th April 1958 against Scotland at Hampden Park. He was inducted in FIFA's 1958 World Cup squad. England exited 1958 World Cup after round 1 playoff defeat to the Soviet Union. Charlton did not make any appearance on the field. By 1962, Charlton was firmly established in the national team. His first FIFA World Cup goal came in England's 3-1 win against Argentina. But eventually England exited the tournament after losing 3-1 to the Brazilian side with a player like Garrincha, which eventually won the tournament. The 1966 World Cup was held in England. It lives in the memory of every English football fan. Charlton was the key player of the English squad. He played in the midfield. England's opening match of the 1966 World Cup against Uruguay ended in a goalless draw. In the next match against Mexico, Charlton scored a beautiful long-range goal to give England a 2-0 victory. England progressed to the semi-finals against Portugal. Portugal's star player Eusebio was playing really well in the World Cup. Charlton put his best performance and scored the opener, giving England a 1-0 first half lead. Portugal equalized with a goal from Eusebio. In the final 11 minutes of the match, England secured a 2-1 victory with the second goal from Charlton. In the final match of 1966 FIFA World Cup, England faced West Germany at the Wembley Stadium. After 12 minutes 32 seconds, Helmut Haller put West Germany ahead, but the score was levelled by Geoff Hurst 4 minutes later. Martin Peters put England in the lead in the 78th minute. England looked set to claim the title when Wolfgang Weber scored in the 90th minute to equalize for West Germany 2-2, and the game went to extra time. In the 98th minute, Hurst scored again. His shot hit the crossbar, bounced down onto the goal line, and was awarded the goal. England's final goal was again scored by Hurst. This made Geoff Hurst the first player to have scored 3 times in a single World Cup final. The 1966 World Cup was the last to be broadcasted in black and white. After winning the 1966 FIFA World Cup, Bobby helped Manchester United to another league title the following season. Matt Busby and Manchester United were again focused on the 1968 European Cup. There was a difficult semi-final against Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, but Manchester United emerged victorious. The European Cup final was against Benfica at the Wembley Stadium. 8 minutes into the second half, Bobby Charlton scored a header to give United a 1-0 lead. In the 79th minute, Benfica equalized 1-1. The match was forced into extra time. Goals from George Best, Brian Kidd, and then a fourth from Bobby Charlton secured a 4-1 win for Manchester United. It was very emotional because Manchester United won the European Cup after 10 years of the Munich disaster. It was a unique achievement for Bobby Charlton as he became the first player to win a European Cup final as well as a World Cup final. In the 1970s, the defending champions England travelled to Mexico for the FIFA World Cup. Charlton, aged 32, was the central figure. After progressing through the group stage, England faced West Germany in the quarter-finals. England were ahead 2-1 and the English manager Alf Ramsey decided to substitute Bobby Charlton. West Germany were able to make a comeback of 3-2 in the extra time. Bobby Charlton announced his retirement from international football after the 1970 FIFA World Cup. Bobby remained a cornerstone for his club until 1973, racking up an extraordinary 758 appearances and netting 249 goals, a testament to his enduring brilliance and consistency on the pitch. After hanging up his boots, Bobby took on the role of player manager at Preston North End for a brief period. He later dedicated himself to various football development initiatives, focusing on coaching and nurturing talent. Eventually, Charlton transitioned into an executive role, joining the board of directors at Old Trafford. Bobby Charlton became a British sporting icon, an ambassador, and continued to shape the game off the pitch. In November 2020, he was diagnosed with dementia and withdrew from public life. Charlton died on 21st October 2023 at the age of 86. As we reflect on the extraordinary life and legacy of Sir Bobby Charlton, we are reminded of what makes football truly remarkable. Not just the goals and the glory, but the courage, humility, and heart behind the game, from the ashes of tragedy to the heights of triumph. Charlton's story continues to inspire generations. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, keep celebrating the legends who make football unforgettable.